Welcome my dear students of class 9A and 9B to this class. Points, literary developments, cultural developments, administrative developments, social developments, decline of the Mughals. Now, literary developments. First point, the literary developments. During the Mughal reign, Mughal emperors were extremely fond of writing poems, fond of poetry and literature. They patronized the writers, painters, artists. As a result, a number of writers wrote considerable amount of them among themselves. Babur, a person, a man of war, but still Babur wrote his autobiography. Tuzuki Baburi is a remarkable piece of literature that reveals, a very sensitive and observant side of the brilliant general. That he could write a good hand, that he could explain the Indian philosophy. In his writing, he proved it so. That's why the writing of Babur and the book Tuzuki Baburi was well appreciated in India. It was probably this quality of his personality that gave him a competitive edge over his contemporaries. Akbar gained some qualities from his grandfather and realized it properly. Although he could not write any book, but he got it done because of his thirst for knowledge. A number of distinguished writers, poets, artists embraced the court of Akbar. Akbar encouraged them. Akbar helped them with money. They were dignified at the court of Akbar. Now, why did he do it so? In order to encourage their originalities, their talents, their skills, Akbar patronized them. That's why Akbar's court was a court of distinguished writers and skillful men. A number of Sanskrit writers were instructed to translate Hindu books from Sanskrit into Persian so that the level of communication between the Hindus and the Muslims increased. It was Tulsidas composed the Ramayana and Surdas composed his epic on divine love, Sur Sagar. Akbar was fond of not only art and architecture, literature, but also fond of dance and music. The Kathak form of dance was developed during the reign of Akbar. Tansen, the great musician, embraced the court of Akbar. He was one of the greatest court musicians during the period of Akbar, during the period of the Mughals. It is said that he could, with his voice, bring rain to a land of drought by singing Rag Mallar, or light up a darkened room with his, Rag Dipak. Light up a darkened room with his Rag Dipak. Who was he? He was Tansen, the famous court musician of Akbar. Akbar patronized him, Akbar helped him a lot. He gained respect from Akbar because of his talents, qualities, and Akbar had a natural tendency to pay respect to the right persons who were well accomplished in all fields. Akbar gave them proper respect, honor, and a life full of peace, dignity, and prosperity. Jahangir showed great patronage to writers such as Giyas Beg and Abdul Haq Delvi. He wrote his biography Tujuki Jahangiri. Shah Jahan's eldest son Dara also had become a great writer. During his time, he got translated two epics of the Hindus, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Translated the epic, that was Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads into Persian. Aurangzeb was not fond of art, literature, dance and music. It was a drawback in the life history of Aurangzeb. In spite of being a Mughal emperor, he had no qualities. He could not obtain that very qualities his predecessors had left for him. He had neither the political acumen to rule well nor a taste in art and architecture. Though the last Mughal emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar too was a poet and some repute and a patron of some of the best Urdu poets such as Zouk and Ghalib, the glory of the age of magnificence had passed under the later Mughals, except Bahadur Shah Zafar too, because he became a poet, a distinguished poet. It was due to the effort of, Akbar. The image of the Mughals reached far and wide in the field of administration, in the field of social upliftment, in the field of, religious upliftment, in the field of, agricultural improvement, in the field of economic prosperity. Everywhere during the reign of Akbar, India became a country of the people under a very popular ruler, Akbar. And almost all people led a very rich and prosperous life during the time of Akbar. Now, why was it possible? Because of his good policies, because of the interaction between the ruler and the ruled. There was no controversy about any policies framed by Akbar. Akbar was the first ruler of India to have thought that unity between the two communities, the Hindus and Muslims and other races, was very important for the Indians and for the country India. Otherwise, India would never prosper, would not become a prosperous country of the world. Not only India but the whole world. And hence Akbar followed all good policies for the all-round development of the country. The Mughal dynasty, which was once founded by Babur and other rulers, kept on following the same system, and some of them, developed the growth of the Mughals, enhanced their acceptability towards the countrymen. But last one, Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, failed to understand that very basic reason, and he harmed the sentiments of the Hindus, adopted the wrong religious policy, adopted wrong foreign policy. He had no, interest for art, architecture, music and dance. He was a man of typical complicated nature, and he was very conservative in his religious policy. That's why Mughal Empire gradually declined during the reign of him. The continuous revolts under the provincial rulers made him very weak, because they stopped paying revenues from their provinces for the Mughals. On the contrary, the campaigns of Aurangzeb for Deccan for 12 years, weakened the entire administrative system of the empire. Aurangzeb failed to maintain cordial relations with the Rajputs and Sikhs because of his wrong Hindu policy, wrong religious policy. And it was due to that reason he did not have any support from the Marathas and other, Hindu powers of India. Besides, the conflicts between the Marathas and the Marathas and the Mughals weakened the central authority. The nobility in the administration became corrupt and lacked the capability to govern and administer a region. Naturally, as a ruler, Aurangzeb was unable to maintain peace in the country. The successive rulers after Aurangzeb were weak and spent their time in leisure and activities. They were not hard-working rulers. The Mansabdari system collapsed as the number of Mansabdars had increased. As the Mansabdars increased, it became difficult to keep a check on them. They failed to maintain the required number of troops. They did not adopt new technology, and the weapons and artillery used were outdated. They could not stand up to the Europeans, as they made no efforts to develop a navy. But the Mughals had no planning for making a new navy system following the British. Repeated invasions by Nadir Shah and Ahmad Shah Abdali weakened the empire. As a result, the European traders, the British and the French, led to the fall of the Mughal Empire. So these are the most important causes of the destruction of the Mughal dynasty in India. Mughal dynasty was disintegrated because of Aurangzeb's wrong policy. Aurangzeb himself was responsible for it. Aurangzeb imposed jizya tax and forbade the celebration of Hindu festivals. It harmed the sentiments of the Hindus. His execution of the Sikh Guru and his enmity with the Marathas forced them to raise forces against him. His excessive obsession with the Deccan destroyed the Mughal army, the treasury, and also affected his health. Aurangzeb, being a fanatic Sunni Muslim, could not tolerate the Shias. He laid too much stress on simplicity and was against singing, dancing, and drinking, which are common habits of the Muslim nobles. Aurangzeb thus himself gave a green signal to the forces of decay. After the death of Aurangzeb, the mighty empire disintegrated into smaller states, and almost all states stopped paying taxes and revenues. Almost all states, regional, provinces declared themselves to be independent. By taking the advantages of the weak successors of the Mughals or Mughal dynasty, they all declared themselves to be independent. The successors of Aurangzeb were both weak and incompetent, They spent more time on their, harems and pleasure, soon lost control of the state. They remained busy in enjoyment, recreation, in Rangmahal with the dancers, got them brought by spending a lot of money from Lucknow, Banaras. All the dancers of repute used to come to show their talents to the Mughal emperors. They all enjoyed with the dancers, spent money in the form of leisure. As a result, they could not concentrate to the administrative system of the country. There was no definite law, there was no definite policy for them, for the all-round development of the country. And this created an atmosphere. Mughal power had become weak and vulnerable. The economic condition of the Mughal Empire also had become a great factor. It ruined the entire hopes of the Mughals. They spent money lavishly on buildings and monuments once upon a time. Who was he? He was Shah Jahan. But somehow he managed, because he collected taxes and revenues from the peasants and farmers regularly and in a systematic way. The conditions of the peasants and farmers also were rich. They could pay taxes and revenues regularly. There was no problem. That's why Shah Jahan was able to manage that very heavy expenditure at the cost of peasants and farmers' revenues and taxes. But the later Mughals, they could not achieve success because of their drawbacks, shortcomings. They failed to achieve success. As a result, indirectly they invited some invaders. Nadir Shah invaded India, and then Ahmad Shah Abdali, which paved the way of destruction, disintegration, As a result, Mughal Empire was disintegrated up to this my years.